Good morning, good morning, brothers and sisters. God loving family here in Flat Out Elected. I don't know if you can hear the waves in the background. I'm just sitting here on the ocean getting some breeze. I was up most of the night swallowing mosquitoes and coughing and sucking in stale air. It was a rough sleep, but I was able to get up and come out, take a walk, spend some time praising the Lord and praying and being grateful, because we still have to be grateful in these struggles. It's not easy. It's not easy. I wish it was easy, but it's not. There's so much that we struggle when you serve God in these days. I know the disciples went through a lot when they were preaching the gospel, going from village to village, and everything that they went through. I know it wasn't easy. Different today, though. It's different. You know, this is what I've come to learn, and the wisdom that the Lord has come to give me is that, we are so dependent on the things of this world, from clothes to food and shelter and travel, electricity, technology. It's a different world now. And it's very, very difficult. And I'm speaking directly from a place of experience. It's very, very difficult to appear blessed in Christ when you're in a struggle, when you yourself are struggling. And the defining moment of coming to understand that is when you can still be happy and still have joy and still have peace. That's an inner knowing of God and an inner understanding of purpose and His will. But the problem is that the people in this world, when they see you in a struggle, when they see you suffering the results of this world, they immediately go, well, where's your God in all this? Shouldn't you pray? And it becomes an opportunity to mock and insult. And that is, for me, the hardest part of this struggle. It's not as much about the having no power, no electricity, having no food, having, one pair of shoes that are broken. It's not even, for me, honestly. Yeah, I'd like to have a decent pair of shoes. Yes, I'd like to have food in a fridge. Yes, I'd like to have a fridge. Yes, I'd like to be able to have electricity. And I'd like to be able to preach the gospel from a place where I am not struggling. But sometimes it's not in His will. Sometimes we've got to go through what we go through in this life in order for His will to be done and in order for Him to be glorified. I think about Job and what he went through. And I feel that. As a matter of fact, somebody yesterday was saying, seems like you're going through a Job moment, Grant. Because nothing is working out. There's just 3 steps forward, 5 steps back. It really has become that in this moment. Okay, he was like, I feel for you, because there really isn't a nicer person here. I went and walked in the barrio yesterday just to greet people that hadn't seen me in a long time, because I was off in the jungle. And they were so excited. I have never heard my name yelled so many times by people passing by and people seeing me. And I got a free haircut. The barber that I've helped feed his family so many times. He sees me and goes, "Oh my God, your hair. What's the matter with your hair?" I go, "What?" He said, "Get in here. I'm cutting your hair for free." And we had a nice chat. He cut my hair, and he said to me something very profound. He said, you understand the struggle here. You understand what my people have gone through. You understand it." He said, "You don't just understand it because you've seen it. You understand it because somehow you've become a part of it." And that's exactly what has happened, is that I have become a part of the very struggle that breaks my heart for the people of this country. And I guess, in a sense, the hardest part of it all is that I can't do much for people anymore. I can't do for them what my heart begs to do for them. I can't. And there are those in this country, and this is a truth. There are those in this country that use the sympathy, the kindness that you might bring, and they use that against you. Because there is a moment when you see a struggling family of 5 that has no food, children have no sandals on their feet, they're in a barrio with absolutely nothing, garbage everywhere, roosters running around, stray dogs, yelling and screaming, everybody loud. And there's a moment where you get that hurt that overcomes you. I've seen both sides. Right now I'm here, sitting on the ocean, sitting on the beach. And I'm looking at a cruise ship. And I'm 100% certain that most people on that cruise ship are not doing too bad in life. But yet there they are, sitting maybe 20 miles offshore. And they don't even know that in this country, the struggle is very, 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 very real. And it's one thing to be hungry. I can promise you, I had more days without food in this country than I had with over the last year. But there are people in this country that are good people. They have nice in them. They do. Now I know my Bible is very clear. Nobody amongst us is good. The human heart is corrupt. It's wicked. But there is some love generated in the struggle, where people kind of get that relation of hunger with each other. For me, what I guess really kind of breaks me down, and the Lord has to work on me with this, is when I go out of my way in so many cases and do without in so many circumstances to try to ease a little pain from people over here that I think need the pain relief. And then you reach out, you reach back, looking for some honesty and some trust and some love and common respect. And you end up getting taken. You end up getting taken advantage of. And that's what kind of happened in Placer a while. I moved out of the jungle into this apartment that has several kind of apartments in it. It's kind of a weird setup. Each apartment has its own little kitchen, has its own little bathroom. So there's 3, I guess, bachelor apartments. And then a shared common area, which has nothing in it. And I was told that if I gave the money for the rent, of which they were behind, So I gave them everything that I had. I made it very clear. I said, just tell me that the electricity will be on. And they said yes. And they swore to it. And sure enough, I gave them some money for the electricity. Sure enough, I did see the electrical truck. Edward Norton. Edward Norton is the name of the company. I seen their truck out front of the building. They were doing some work in the box. And then they came upstairs and started flicking the switches, and yes, the power was on. And they said, oh, yeah, you have power, no problem. And I thought, oh, okay, that's fine. And then less than a week, 4 days later, the power is out. And so I'm like, what's going on? First, I thought it was a rolling blackout. Because they do that here where they'll just shut the power off in certain areas for, 4 or 5 hours. But it went on into the evening, and I went outside and noticed everybody else had electricity lights except my apartment. So I spoke to the woman. I said, what's going on here? She said, I don't know. I have to go look tomorrow. And then in the morning, she brought me a bill with about $100 unpaid electrical bill. And that's when I called out to the family to assist. And when I gave her the money, she went. She came back. She said they're going to put it on today. And it didn't go on. And they said they're going to put it on tomorrow. And it didn't go on. And now she tells me that they want a deposit of $150 because she didn't pay for, I guess, a couple of months. And when they cut her off, she was without electricity for a while until I showed up. But then when they turned it back on, they must have realized that she had been in arrears, and they shut it off and said, no, you got to give us a down payment. You got to give us a security deposit, which is $150. So I don't know. She has till midway through the day. What is today? Today the 24th? I don't even know. I don't know. I lose track of time, especially when it comes to the world's timeline, because there is 2 timelines. There's God's timeline and there's the world's timeline. And because I don't celebrate worldly events, I really don't reside in the timeline of this world. I reside in a much different timeline. Anyways, yeah, she has, because if it's not on by today, it'll be off for 4 or 5 days. It won't be open. It won't be open next week for the holidays. So there's that. But I sit here and I think to myself, we have to, I guess, go through struggle in order to understand struggle. You see these multi-billionaires and these people that are generationally rich wouldn't know what it was like to struggle financially or to have a situation that would come up that they have no control over, that their money couldn't buy them out of. Except Steve Jobs. I remember reading what they say was his final words. I don't know. But if it was his final words, he was 100% correct. He said he's got all this money and can't buy his own life. Multi-billionaire dying but can't buy his own life. And whether that is true in his case or not, I don't know. It is true. I couldn't imagine having billions upon billions upon billions of dollars. I couldn't imagine. And then you get diagnosed with a terminal illness, and you can't buy your way out of it. It speaks volumes to me about this world. I'm watching the waves roll in and roll out here. Let me see if I can put the camera on. Hunter, how are you, brother? How's my good, dear, wonderful friend? Sorry I didn't see you there. Let me put the camera on. There I am with my little hair. Let me see if I can switch the camera. How do you do this? Oh, I'm so stupid. I can be stupid. don't know how you switch the camera the other way. Maybe I can't. Anyways, I'll do. Buenos dias, Jamesy. How are you? God bless you. God bless you. Yeah, I don't know why the phone did that. I'm sorry. But here, very strange. Well, I'm glad you guys are doing good. God bless all of you. I love you guys. I'm just praying that I get the power on today, the electricity. I'd really hate to go through another 4 days. Last night I was up coughing at 2 in the morning. I coughed so much that I reefed my neck and my back. I feel like I sucked in about 1.6 million mosquitoes. Too dry. I couldn't breathe. No fan, no air. Hot. Anyways, enough of my complaints. You guys have enough of your own. All right, guys. I hope God blesses you guys today. Blesses you during these holidays. I know it's, not what we know it to be, but people are celebrating the birth of Christ. I guess in a sense that's a good thing. It's not really his birthday, but I'm 100% sure he's not glorified with it. But go out and preach the gospel to somebody. Bring somebody to the Lord. Tell them what a wonderful Savior we have. That would be a nice thing to do this weekend. Look at this. Really wish I had somebody to share this with. Not the struggle. Just sit here with somebody and have a cup of coffee. Would be nice. It would be nice. Okay. Yeah, it's beautiful, Hunter. That horizon sure looks flat, doesn't it? Tell me that horizon doesn't look flat. Water always seeks its level. All right, guys. God bless you. Have a wonderful day. Pray for me. Pray that I get power today. Okay, be blessed. I love you.